Hello, and welcome to another episode of Coach and Coffee. We're switching up the scenery here today. This is a wonderful spot on the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm not going to tell you where it is because it's mine. You can't have it. Behind me is a valley that I live in. I know I'm a little bit backlit right now, and that's okay because it's too awesome to not have it this way. Go grab your coffee, come back. We are going to talk about cross training today. So cross training, extremely important for athletes. What happens a lot of times is people get into a sport, which is awesome, and then they start doing that sport all the time, which is also awesome. They found something like they liked, but they end up doing it so much or so repetitively that they end up getting injured in some way, shape, or form. So in OCR, that could be from running. It could also be from doing things like full-length hangs on monkey bars or rings or a different type of grip obstacles. When you're practicing those things, a lot of people get shoulder injuries from that because they do it repetitively and they may not necessarily have the strength required to do that and sustain it for a long amount of time without injury. For running, if you're running all the time or running a lot and you haven't built up the proper strength for it, you will potentially end up with injuries, at least very minor, but sometimes significant. And so the purpose of cross training is to help eliminate some of those issues. And cross training sounds like it's some fancy thing. It's really not. It's just doing some other type of training as well. So, instead of only doing running, maybe you do running and biking, or if you live in a colder area, maybe you do running and skiing, or maybe you start incorporating swimming, or the rower, or the elliptical, or something like that, that does a slightly different motion, perhaps takes some impact off of your joints, and gets your body working in a different way, strengthening muscles in a different way and using them in a different way, so you're not always pounding the same muscles the same way all the time. A lot of ways that I've learned to cross train are the bike, as well as just lower body strength training, doing high repetitions with lighter weights and just cranking those out in different ranges of motions like squats, lunges, single leg hip presses, single leg bridges, band lateral walks, prisoner walks, if you know what those are with the band. So there's a lot of different things you can do strength training wise. A lot of the top athletes in OCR live in places like Colorado and in Europe, where it's cold during the winter and they get a lot of snow. I don't get a lot of snow here in Virginia, very little, almost none last year. So they are out skiing for months at a time, doing ski-mo and cross-country skiing and all that stuff. So they're using muscles in a different way and taking some of the impact off of their joints as they do it. It's not a complicated concept. Something like jump rope could be something you throw in to your training to improve calf strength instead of just running up a hill maybe. Or like I mentioned, the rower already is a great way to get your legs moving in a different way and to still develop some strength and endurance in your lower body. So there's a lot of different things you can do to cross train. I would highly recommend that everyone does cross train, and not just for cardio, but like I mentioned at the start, if you're doing rings and things like that and you're starting to find your shoulders are feeling stressed or whatever, especially if you're doing it full length, that's going to put a ton of tension on your shoulder socket and all the ligaments and tendons that hold that together and in place. So it'd be important to start doing other strength training exercises to improve the strength in your shoulder so that you're not injuring any part of the shoulder girdle, which, if you do, it's either rest and recover or it's surgery, and neither one of those is a great option. So cross train. Find different ways to cross train. Try and be creative if you can. I'm the type of person who gets hooked on something, and so like running, man, I used to hate running and then I fell in love with it, particularly trail running. I just love running on trails. Anytime I drive into the mountains, I think, wow, I want to be trail running right now. But after a certain point, I realized if I keep doing the same thing over and over, I will get really good at it, but I'm also putting myself at potential for injury, and there are different things I can be doing as well without taking away my trail running to improve my strength and endurance overall. So I bought a bike for the winter time, especially during hunting season, because I don't want to be running trails while the people are out hunting, because honestly, while I'm sure 99% of them are great and would never take a pot shot at something, I don't trust it 100%. And it's good to just get off my feet. But so this year I've done like over 600 miles of biking just on a stationary bike in my house. So cross train, it's very important, it's very helpful. It'll help you develop strength in different ways. It'll clue you into different types of training, and it'll hopefully give you more variety and options so that you don't get fizzled out on one type only. So cross train, that's the message for today. If you have any questions, shoot us an email at info@triofitlife.com. Visit our website, triofitnessocr.com. And I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you next time on Coach and Coffee.